All right, say your name.
Richard Angelides. I mean, I had that like random garage shit that someone hand me down, but my first actual board was a Jesse Ventura. Wait, was it Jesse Ventura? No, Jason Jesse. I liked it because it was purple. It was a dude, and it was like a guy under the water. He was like a fucking...
Yeah, like the Neptune kid.
Yeah. I was super into bikes when I was young, but then when I got BMX bike magazines, at the end, like back in the day, they used to have like skateboards. For some reason, my mom and my stepdad got me a bike, and like a month later, I kept looking at the skateboards and the thing, and I'm like, no, I want one of those. We didn't have money or anything like that, but it was just the deck, and I put it from like hand-me-downs and all, you know how that goes, like just old scraps. Jason Jesse, the underwater Neptune board. And I had green slime ball wheels. Yeah, that was my first one. I was on a trip with my grandma and my mom, and there was, I think it was called Rapid Waters, something like that. Like the skate park it was like a L-shaped thing, and it was on TV, like on ESPN.
Raging Waters?
Raging Waters, deadass. And I remember seeing Steve Cab on it, and my mom turned to me after I wanted a bike. She's like, would you ever want to do something like that? I was like 12. Would you ever want to do something like that? And I was like, and I was hooked. She was great. Then she took me to a contest at Houston, at the skate park of Houston, that big blue ramp. Danny Way was an amateur skateboarder, and he won the amateur contest. And like, that dude was, I mean, it's Danny Way. So it was Danny Way, then I started getting introduced to skate videos, and it was Matt Hensley. I mean, there's been plenty since, but I'd say Danny Way was the first one, like, oh my God. Where I grew up, people skated vert, mini ramp, and street. So Danny had it all. For some reason, what pops in my mind is like the sequence of the backside nose won't slide on that like Carlsbad thing, you know? And then just for some reason, randomly, then ollieing over the picnic table and nose wheel, just because it was like, you didn't even do nothing out of it, it just did that. I remember getting Danny Way's autograph. I remember this vividly. There was this contest, like a huge, like when they had the big back in the day contest, like ramp jam type fucking shit. And Danny Way showed up, and I'm like a kid. He could have been, I don't even know how old he is. He could have been like a couple years older than me. But when you're younger, you know what I mean? Collecting mad stickers, and Danny Way walks in wearing a white 8th Street hoodie. And I'm like, oh yeah, like you're like I fanned out on him. And he had, when I got his autograph, he had a black marker and X'd it out and gave me a blind sticker when he was on blind for that period of time. And I was like, what is this? I think I fanned out on Rudy Johnson once when I was like hammered. Like, no, nothing crazy. I mean, everyone's the same, like, you know, like we're all skateboarders. Shackle Me Not, just because I got introduced to like raw street skating instead of seeing people skate like vert ramps all the time. Was virtual reality or Questionable first? Questionable was first. That one was a wrap. Video Days. Video Days for sure, because I seen Guy and I'm like, yo, he looks like my size. I think we're about the same age. And then Questionable, I saw it. Questionable, I saw probably like 10 or 11 at night, and then we skated till like 3 in the morning. Like after watching Duffy, like I was just like jumping down stuff when I didn't jump down stuff. I was so hyped on that video. That changes constantly because I still watch stuff all the time. East Coast shit, visual shit. I've never had a great ollie. I like watching like Huff and Reese Forbes and shit. Just people that make it look fun. Skating schoolyards all the time. I was so done. Eastern exposure videos. All the stuff they did, that was like Ricky, all that stuff. But I mean, it changes. My friends, anything, Omar, Salazar, Stefan Janowski, Brandon Biebel, Kyle Leeper, Duffy, anything, even interviews, like the Kalis one I just watched. I watched it because like, yo, he lived in Texas. We didn't even really get along that much. I was a shy-ass little kid, and he was like this new dude in town and killing it. And maybe I was jealous knowing that now, but then like we were on the part of the same brand kind of, you know, and then like, I love him. And then like, I specifically was like, I'm gonna sit down and watch this because it's like, I love him. I like hearing stories when people are older and wiser, you know, and not like some immature kid. Oh yeah. I had like a little crew, and he had a little crew, and it was like, it was dumb. We were young, you know what I mean? But I love him to death, and I respect the fuck out of him. What else have I watched recently? It depends on my mood. Like, I know I can't do shit like I used to be able to do, but anything that comes up on like Heliclips or fucking TransWorld or Thrasher or anything, if it's like where I know it might be around here, I look just to keep that in mind, you know? And I'll hit up RB and be like, I'll watch something, hit a screenshot, and deadass and just like, where is this? Yeah, do you wanna know how that came about? Thomas Morgan was like Alien Workshop's vert skater, but he skated street as well, if you remember him. So he was from Toronto. In the wintertime, he would go and stay, I think he would stay with Mike Crum. Like, I was friends with Mike Crum, whatever, and I got to know him. And then I'd put together like I guess you'd call it a sponsor me tape, but I don't think I perceived it as that. Like VHS tape, filming like everything was like at the skate park in Houston, and then some stuff at Jeff Phillips, and my friend Jason King, he was another mentor, showed him the tape one day. I ended up entering some like amateur contest. Yeah, it was an amateur contest, but I think there was a pro contest after. It was the same one, like, I think Kareem like backs in 180 over the, and like, I don't even think I did very good, but the workshop dudes were there, like Rob, Bo Turner, Dwayne Pete, and they put me in the van with them. This is like, oh, let's get to know him. I think I was 15. More of like, oh yeah, he's all right on a board, but like, let's get to know him. And I'm just this like shy little hip hop kid. And then they're like, oh, yeah, we're putting you on. I think it was Rob the one that did it, but it was through Thomas Morgan. But the thing was, I stayed in Texas, and I couldn't do anything. So it kind of fizzled out. I don't know how long that lasted, maybe a year and a half or something. But yeah, I was on workshop. I was told I was the first one to ever quit. I'll tell you why I quit. It was one of the hardest things I've ever done, being 16, 17 years old. I went to California my first time from Texas when I was 15 years old. 6 people in a car, in a rental car, for a week or two maybe, and I was hooked. So I was in dead-ass Texas in the middle of fucking nowhere, basically. And then like, I was just trying to figure out any way I could go back. And then once I got on workshop, like I got to go out there once, but I had to come back. My mom let me get homeschooled. So I'm like, as soon as I go back, I would just do work, right? And then go back there and just fucking skate. But then it came time, like my mom couldn't afford for me to go to California anymore. So I hit up Sarge Carter. I loved him, he was awesome to me, right? But I told him, like, I need to go back. Can I get a bus ticket or something? And he was telling me straight up, he's like, get some more footage and give it to us, and then we'll get you like a bus ticket. I'm like, well, that's not possible. I don't have a filmer. I'm 16 years old. Like, I don't have a car. I can't go to like places, you know? I'm like, I could get dropped off at the skate park, but whatever. And he just kept telling me, I will just get us some footage, and then we'll get you a bus ticket. I'm like, that's not gonna happen. And I was just like, ugh. So then I get to California, my stepdad bought me a ticket. And so I went, and I was staying with Felix Arguelles, Jason King, and I'm with all these Planet Earth dudes, right? Their apartment, skating with them every day. They're filming me. And then Matt Schnur came in the picture, and I guess he told Felix, like, let's get him on. I'm just like happy to be there. I didn't think nothing was going through my head about getting on Earth. They were going to this Sacramento contest. I remember Carol like nollie flipping this pyramid, and it was like one of the best things I've seen. I rode for workshop, and I'm in a Planet Earth van. And I'm in a Planet Earth van from San Diego to Sacramento, staying in their hotel room, not even entering the contest. I didn't have to. They were like, come with us. And then I get there and I see the dudes, and they're like, what are you doing here? I'm just like, they invited me. And it was kind of awkward, obviously, but they didn't invite me. I have no hate towards them whatsoever, to be clear. When I got back, they're like, yo, we just took you here, and like, why don't you are friends with all of us, and they didn't, like, why don't you just switch? Like, gotta make that phone call now. So I made that phone call, I deadass cried. I called Rob first, and like John Drake, people, they were in that PB house, I think, and people were saying shit in the back. I ain't got nothing to hide. I heard him like, fuck you, like all this shit. And you know, I'm like a fucking kid, bro. And I had to call Sarge after. I'm like, yo, Sarge understood more, but I just remember the background of whoever said, like, I'm quitting, and just like yelling in the background over like and I was just like, oh well. No, I kind of took things that came my way. Like some people are like, I'm gonna go do this, I'm gonna do this. Like skating wise, yeah, I like have something in mind. Like I want to do this, but like as far as like I want to get on this, you know, something came up and I was into it. If I'm feeling it, then hell yeah. But I never reached out as much as some people did, which probably got up longer in their career or whatever, or more money or some shit. I just didn't care. I just wanted to skate and have fun and be with my friends. Jeff Phillips, basically, and Mike Crum. People were doing this. I'm like, I want to try that. Alfonso Rolls, just because I like skating street, you know, and it was like I was like a little skate park kid. I see Alf doing basically like almost like street tricks on vert, you know. He didn't like fly 10 feet high, but he was just like doing that shit I liked. I did 2 of them. Pressure flip mute grab. And in my home, this dude, Billy Talaska, missed the first one, which was proper. And that was on the tape. I don't know where that fucking shit was, but I did pressure flip mute grab. But the second one, I landed so low. I mean, I was still like at coping. Like, I didn't fucking fly, hell no. I did do that, it's documented somewhere. Oh, fuck. Probably at the Black Box DC ramp, and I felt dizzy when I got near the coping. That was probably 2 years ago. But yeah, that shit, fuck, I have so much respect for that shit. Hiatus. Where the fuck do you get this shit from? This is my first video part, right? Oh yeah, well, 4-1, yeah. Hiatus. I skated to a different song in the original version of this. This one I had like that fucking weed song. Yeah, Chris Miller told me like, you have an option of like 3 songs, and I don't smoke weed, but I was like, I like the beat. So I skated to a Dell song, Dell, Pep Love, and Q-Tip. Undisputed Champs I skated to in the original version, if you know that song. But yeah, this shit was so fun, man. Cause that was that time I was speaking about with Felix, and then getting to know like, Kenny Anderson's one of my favorite skaters ever. I always told people that Kenny reminded me of the last OG street skater. Even if it was a while ago, he just reminded me of like an old Hensley or something like that. I don't know why. This was not worrying about filming. This was just skating. I don't think there's a trick in the part I had in this where I want to go do that. It was just hopping in a van and being like, skating, and someone's gonna film you. But Felix was just like the dad. He was just like, we're getting in the van today, everyone. And then like our homie Mark Gammas was like, he wasn't even like a real filmer. He just, Felix's friend from Miami that just had a camera. Let's go here today and then just see what you get.
Switch me, mix me, somebody get me. Don't let me rip out my clothes like Bill Bixby. Ripping a microphone till I'm motherfucking 60. Smoking an Indo while the window is sticky.
Spartanism, my expertism is lyricism. My flow would take you over like I was hypnotism. So where's the light?
I remember Gons, you know the force there, right? There was the left part of it where it was like more of a ledge, and there was a right part of it that was just a straight block. I remember one day Mark Gonzalez was there, and I saw him wally up it, but it looked like he was riding up transition, and it like blew my mind. It just looked like he just rode up a quarter pipe. I'm like, what the fuck did he just do? And then people used to say 6 when cops were coming. They'd just yell at 6, but then they'd yell at 6 for fun to get people to scatter. I swear it was like Chico or Carol or something, just like 6! Like kids would just run like, oh, cops are coming, but they would just fucking with them. Accident. I was just trying to do switch heel front nose, and it just happened. Fuck it, I'm not gonna lie. But I remember Rick and Mike and a bunch of dudes went to Earth because they came down to San Diego from LA. Felix showed them the copy before it came out. And then I'm like back there like a fucking child of like, oh my God, dude, you know what I mean? And then that trick happened, and they were like, who the fuck was that? And I was like, in my mind, I'm like, it was a fucking accident. No, I didn't want skateboard footage. Not then. Now it's all right, and I don't give a fuck. I don't give a fuck about anything. I'll watch anything. If it's eye-pleasing to me, it's awesome. I think so. I mean, basically, it's all just good memories. Fuck, I don't even remember who all sits in here. I was gonna say Caesar Singh, but he wasn't in this. I love Caesar so much.
Soul, say it's time to shout. Reform the soul to a positive sum. Dance to the six and flex every muscle. Space can be filled if you ride like a lumber. Advance to the tune, but don't use the hustle. Shake, rattle.
I love Mark. Mark used to be Marcus, but his name is Mark Wyndham. Mark was kind of older at the time, right? And he's throwback. I loved Mark. And he filmed a line at this place at Ralph's, the grocery store. We used to skate like every night. And he started with a no comply. And Matt was mad, like, technical. So during, like, the editing process, Matt was looking over, and Matt was giving him kind of shit. He's like, you want to start it with a no comply? Because it was getting, like, to a technical error. And Mark was like, yeah, I do. Matt's like, he was, like, so kind of off it, and then look at it now. Oh, hell yeah. But he just was like kind of maybe on his way out. He just like wanted to have fun. Coming from Matt doing like switch backside big spin manuals like before his time, skating comes so full circle. Things go out, things come back in. Fake manual. I don't know if someone's done it since then. I think maybe Nick did. Nick Tucker maybe when I've done it. But yeah, I just couldn't believe he did that so long ago. And at any time, like I'd see people that are like good at manuals, I was like, I can't believe he did that so long ago and I haven't seen it yet. Years would go by, I'm like, I haven't seen it yet. I tried it, and like, no, I couldn't. Yo, I can't believe you have this shit. I don't think it was that long. I mean, I was young. Yo, that thing is tiny. Yo, you knew about Jason then, right? Honestly, I don't remember this graphic. But Jason, seriously, he like showed me the ropes as a young kid. I knew his family and stuff, like hanging out at his house. And he was older than me and I looked up to him. He kind of maybe told me to be a little bit more modest. I owe him a lot. Oh, fuck yeah. I was in awe of like the stuff that he could do on a mini ramp. When I was still in Texas, he's from Texas as well. When he moved to California, he got a job at Planet Earth and rode for him. He actually wrote me a letter, like a 2-page letter of why I should go out to California. Like, I'm working at Planet Earth. I met Brian Lottie. Chris Miller's super cool. The receptionist is hot as hell. Like, just random, like, you need to come out here. Like, it was like that dude, like that mentor dude, like, you're gonna listen to what I say. I love him for that. Fucking looks like a freestyle board. When he used to fuck around, like he'd do weird back nose blunts and like grab like, I don't even know what they're called, like crail fuck, whatever. One trick I always liked is switch 180-50 reverts, and he did that at the pier. He was just casual with it. He didn't care as much.
The horse, of course, is much greater than your Benz or your Lexus. The engine, to my comprehension, is just too complex. Much too complex. Effects be live like dots, make it move down south to avoid the chaos and never flaunt the coin, cause dime getters be gay.
Wildin'. Oh, this one's big, yo. I don't think I ever rode this one. This is probably Jose Gomez's shit. I love this company, man. It was so fun. Because, I mean, I rode for Earth. Me and Shani were amateurs on Earth. And then, I think it was just Felix and Jeff Taylor, and then they brought in John McGrath, and like there was starting to be too many people on Earth, right? Felix wants to do this side project, kind of like the Girl with Chocolate type shit. We're gonna pay you if you want to ride for rhythm and be pro for rhythm. And I'm like, I don't have to go back to Texas. I can pay rent. Fuck yeah. I don't even think I deserved it, but I'm like, I don't want to go back. It's not my favorite. I liked my first one. I don't know if you remember that. It was a teddy bear. I don't keep boards. I have like 3. I told you there's one down the street. My mom has like 2. I have my first one somewhere. It was a teddy bear, but the shadow has horns. I was kind of a prankster when I was young. I used to love fucking with Shanny because he was like new from Switzerland. Yeah, this one kind of bland, I don't know. But I love the company. It's so weird to see this shit, man. I wish I saved so many more things, you know what I mean? It's just, when you're in the moment, it's like, I mean, I think I might have one of these, the Genesis cover. I ain't letting that slip out. I got stories about this one. This one was similar to Hiatus, but like that's when I started like, you know, having like a regular paycheck, right? So it started feeling like more of a job, but I was still so much fun, obviously. And then Ty Evans, he's just a genius. He did everything for this video, as far as I remember, coming up with like songs that people didn't think that might work. I had never heard of it. Stereolab, right? I had never heard of it. I got probably more compliments on this video from people than other shit. I think I was 19 on this one, so I'm still just young and just hungry. But this video is the reason why I quit. To be dead ass honest, I don't got nothing to hide. I love Jeff Taylor. He grew up in Houston. I love Jeff. Do you want me to tell you this story? After the video came out, I was proud of it. I haven't watched this in a long time, but I'm very familiar with it. After the video came out, I went to Planet Earth to get boards, or whatever, Planet Earth Rhythm at the time now, to get boards with Jeff Taylor drove me. Chris Miller is pulling up at the same time and he ran everything. I'm walking with Jeff up to the front door. Chris tells Jeff Taylor, I'm so proud of your video part, like you killed it, like did all this stuff, and doesn't say a word to me. I'm like, I had first part and like I'm proud, and everyone else is like, yo, like that was fucking awesome, you know? And then like the owner of the fucking company doesn't say nothing to me. And it fucking hurt me. And so when it came down to like changing, like that's what stuck in my head the most. Like I just didn't feel appreciated. And I could have fucking done more, I know that. I could have done more with my whole shit. It just like, but yeah, I love this shit. Yeah, that took me a while. Hot as fuck out. Felix just like took us there, and it's like a small ass rail, but still was kind of tall for being a small rail. And like I could do switch front nose easy. That wasn't an accident though. I seriously, I don't think I got into it once until I rolled away. The handshake at the end of like being like, yo, I was done. Shady, by far. It was a clip. I don't remember if it was in Hiatus. He like did a front shove it off a bump. Like he had power when people didn't really have power yet.
And in the case of the blues, Lucian is blue, even though he's really brown. I had to make the sound, his life was too profound.
Even the fucking this shit, like I never watched him skate a rail and all this. I wasn't there that day, but like the 50-50 on the kink shit, I didn't know he had that in him. I mean everyone, but just Shanny. I fucking couldn't tell you. The whole thing through, I don't know. I probably watched Shanny's part maybe a couple years ago. Some like girls I know or something like didn't know that I'd skated, and they're like, oh, we watched your, and they like turn their phone around and be like this, you know what I mean? I'll be like, I remember this one, Jerry. I haven't talked to Jerry in so long, man. I used to love this thing. I like colors more than anything. Like I have decks at home that are like black and red, and I'm just like, I don't even know if I want to put that on, but I would. If this was in my shape right now, I would skate it in a heartbeat. Jerry's the shit. People either love him or they hate him, but that was like 10 years ago. He was like so fucking talented, it was stupid. He had one of my favorite tray flips ever. He just did it with like how people do it now, where it looks like they're just pushing a button and it fucking just, he had that so long ago. He had so much board control, it was fucking crazy. But I remember this so distinctly because I loved the colors. Hi, Jerry. Oh, this. when this shit started. Was this shit all black and white? I mean, I remember going to the premiere and I've watched it a few times, but it's kind of weird that I remember like Genesis and Hiatus more than this shit. It's such a weird time. So crazy to remember being on a team with Ryan and Kyle and Stefan, people I love to death I haven't seen. Carl. I just haven't seen any of them in so long. Oh yeah, I would have changed some things. I remember filming a line in a basketball court, and I liked how the green looked. I liked the colors. You can do whatever if it's visually stimulating for me. You do the hardest trick in some schoolyard, I don't give a fuck. And there was like a basketball court, I did some line that I kind of liked, but it just ended up being black and white. It's the only reason I went there is because I liked the way it looked. I don't think we quite knew what we were doing at this point. See, with Rhythm, Jeff Taylor told me that K2, like the rollerblade company, was gonna buy it out. I feel like I got the assumption that it could be just dead at any point if it wasn't going anywhere. Chris and Alfonso approached me and Shani about doing Expedition. But I decided to quit Rhythm just because of the story I said before. And like, I'm with Shani, and I knew Chris for a long time, Chris Lambert, but I was just like, fuck it, I want something new. And it had a long fucking run, for me at least. So I don't regret that shit whatsoever. So I was buying Adidas at that time. It wasn't like it was now. I was like buying Adidas because that's what I wanted to skate in. My friend Jason Shelton introduced me to him. Like, I mean, I obviously knew what it was, but I didn't know people skated in them. People skated in skate shoes when we were 14, 15. My friend Jason Shelton, he started getting Adidas, like buying them, and I'm like, I want some too. He was like a little bit older than me, and then I got hooked. But then when people started giving me like a couple free things, I'd try them out. But then I started going back to like just buying Adidas just because it felt good. Yeah, I was probably wearing Rex in this shit. Yeah. The only reason it wasn't weird, it was weird, but I loved Weiss to death, Bill Weiss, and Duffy was on, and I was making fucking shit, and I think that they offered me like 400, but they said, we're traveling a lot, and we're going to Europe, we're going to, and I was like, if I get to travel, like, I'll wear them. And they weren't even that bad. I didn't like the way they looked, really, but I was going to Germany with fucking Duffy and Weiss and Adam McNatt, and I was just like, yeah, I don't think I ever traveled with him. I known Freddie forever, but I don't think he ever went on the trips with us. But I was just like, fuck it. If I get to travel, go to Europe for free on their dime, like, fine for me at the time. Oh, shit. What the fuck, man? Nah, you ain't embarrassing me. The funniest thing about this shit, like, I think my mom has like 4 or 5 pairs, and I have 2 that I've worn for like 2 years, and I forgot what the original color looks like, because they like brown now. Nah, I got like 6 or 7 in the beginning. My mom has them, but I had 2 for myself. I skated them, but I was trying to think like what the actual color was. I fucking love it, honestly. It was 3 years ago. I was dead ass down the street on BQE, and Welsh called me. And he's like, Skin wants to do a shoe. And I didn't even know like Kareem, Joey, and Drake were involved. I'm like, are you fucking serious? It's like the happiest day of my life, I swear. I had just missed a Ghostface concert in San Diego. And then I came here and I found out I just missed another Ghostface concert, and I was a fan. He's not my favorite person in Wu-Tang, but for some reason, I think it was in like maybe a Raekwon album. And you know they had like those little excerpts, and it was like, oh, you got them blue and cream joints. Do you remember that shit? And that popped in my mind. I'm like, I want a blue and cream joint. If Wu-Tang thinks it's cool.
Like blue and cream, you know what I'm saying? Shit like that, niggas don't even know stuff.
I mean, I don't even know how to answer that question. I went through Stan Smith's campus. Shelto's the best because they lasted longest. I mean, I got Joey's on right now. Fuck. High. Used to be low, but for some reason high. The best pair I ever had that I skated in was all black, just all black, but for some reason, like, they just gripped like 50-50 dead ass right down the middle. Nah, before they have it like they did now, they had one before, and they actually sent me some stuff. They weren't doing nothing like this. They were making like what they thought was a skate shoe a long time ago, but it was no. And I turned it down. Then when they started doing other stuff, like I wasn't even ever really on. My friend Mark Holcomb, who worked for him, he just was down for me, and then he used to just send me mad shit. He gave me a royalty check for that First Love video when I didn't even write for him. And that was like most money I'd made in a while. Nah, I mean, I had heard that so many times. I heard that like shops weren't getting them because they're like, well, why doesn't he on the team? I heard other people say it, so I don't know. I can't speak if it's facts or not. Yeah, nah, I don't know. If you get stuck into something, I got stuck into these. Fuck yeah. Hell yeah. I've seen, my homies at the park, like Angel, he'll send me photos, like dude on the train, like whatever, he'll send me like, and just random dudes, not skateboarders, that were like when they first came out, like down the street they used to have them at KCDC, and be like, yo, someone's wearing your shoes. Shit made me happy. Yo, I have to have my mom send me a fresh pair. No, I mean, you keep them. I got some, my mom's got some. It's one of the things I was wondering if you can bring those out, and I was like, nah, there's no way. For some reason, Drake's skate the best for me. They just like catch better. I've skated in Joey's before, and Kareem's. Just the suede for some reason, just, the flick feels better. Oh man, the GOAT right here. Besides my early influences, in my eyes, the best skateboarder of all time, ever, hands down. Easy. Wish I was there, but I had been to Hubba before when I was young, and I'm like, I couldn't fuck with it. And I remember seeing this and just being like, yeah, how the fuck did you get up on top of that?
Talk about this first, and then.
All right. Oh shit. Sports arena, San Diego switch flip. I'm not gonna front. I was fucking hungover that day. For some reason, that shit makes you brave. Like, yo, we're going here today, Lee. I think Atiba shot this, most likely. I love Atiba. Lee DuPont filmed it, but I remember being slightly hungover, but like brave. Like, I don't care if I fall. And that shit just worked. Switch flip just worked for me. That one, no, I didn't give a fuck. No, I was just like, I'm jumping down this thing real quick. I'm gonna push as fast as I can and jump down this thing. I don't know how people, Jeremy Ray going from the top, just the ollie without, people did the shit with the ramp, whatever, but he's got a push. I have no push like that. Usually jumping shit didn't take me that long because I just wanted to get the fuck over with. You know, I was just like, yo, John Holland told me one thing. We used to skate this, this is why I love John. We used to skate this parking lot in Encinitas called Moonlight Beach, whatever. It was a parking lot, and we just skate flat ground and like. But I would go there all the time, and just skate flat ground and do tricks. I remember there was one thing I did like a switch frontside 360 over this like flat lap, whatever. But I'm skating with John. It was frustrating me, and John's like, "Yo, just pretend you're at Moonlight, like the place that I skated flat ground all the time." And like 2 tries later, rap, you're the fucking best. I've had other people say some other shit. We're just like, that's not what I want to hear right now. I want to. I just seen Mumford, which I haven't seen in forever. I don't know what the fuck. Yeah, Mums. I lived next to Mumford for a long time. He's funny as fuck. Oh, that was Blayback that shot Eric. Jamie, I love Jamie. Jamie, when I was starting to like kind of get over skating, and then Black Box started, you know, they had the skate park there or whatever, but I've never been that dude to be like, let me get a key or some shit. I remember going to Black Box and be like, yo, how the fuck can I go in? And Jamie happened to be there. He was just like, oh, just to let you know, any fucking time you want to come skate, just come. And I was so happy. And I used to go there almost every fucking day. I love Jamie. Dill, crazy motherfucker, I haven't seen him in a long time. Kayla, speaking of, the shit, legend. Fuck yeah, I did. Mariano, legend, too. Obviously. I mean, I would obviously look through the magazine, any magazine. Interviews would bore me sometimes, but if I knew the person, even the slightest bit, if I could hear their voice, it made me want to read it. If there was like a Stefan or a Beeble interview or some shit. But if it was somebody I didn't know, I don't even know. Kenny, one of my favorite ever. Is that Vegas Gap, back to lip. I love Kenny. Atiba. my personality. I'd like to say I could do things different, but I cared, but it was definitely not on purpose. It was just my mentality, I guess. I don't think so. I took the Rex one. Nothing that was better than what I already had. I mean, I rode for Workshop, so that's one, but my favorite shit is the whole girl chocolate shit, especially the like fucking 90 girl shit. It's not like I fantasized about it, but that shit just seems so fun. And I know a lot of them. That's the best shit, I think. Okay, this is gonna be fun. I know this part. Best style ever. In my eyes, probably every July 5th I've shed a fucking goddamn tear. You either love him or hate him. And that was a long time ago, but he was not afraid to say anything to anybody. He was funny as fuck and fun to be around, but can be a pain in the fucking ass too. I mean, you can edit this out, but I remember him talking, like having a 5-minute conversation with this chick. I think we were in Santa Barbara. And then he just like talking to this chick and she's kind of feeling him. And I was like, how? This chick's kind of hot. Like, and he's like, all right, well, I'm gonna go take a shit. And I'm like, you really gonna say that right now? That's Jerry though. Oh man, I just hung out with him like not that long ago, and I don't know. I miss him, and he's around, and I'm fucking happy for him. And he's been skating, and I love watching. When I see like my friends skate that I used to skate with like that, like. Makes me so happy. I love that kid. You got such a good heart. Shut up. I don't even know what to say about Matt. Oh, lived with Rob, love Rob. He's gangster as fuck. I owe him a lot too. I lived with him, took care of me, he looked out for me. There's people you miss being able to watch on a board. I miss watching that dude on a board. Spinning the dice. I mean, there's plenty more, but for some reason, just spinning the dice. Him and SF, man, he belongs there. I wish. No slide pops out. I can't do that shit. I can't. Anything that I can't come close to doing that people do, I appreciate. I turned him into Waylon Welsh because he started playing country music. Rob takes shit serious. Like, when he wants to learn how to do something, he fucking learns how to fucking do something. I've known people for so long. He's like my little brother, but there's one story that sticks in my mind about Beeble. To me, Beeble in a nutshell was me trying to film this trick one day, right? I don't have the best of a push, and you have to get speed to get there. And so no one else wants to skate. There's like 8 people there. So he just starts talking and being him. And I'm trying to film, just me and Jason Hernandez. And they're just chatting it up, like smoking and shit. And it gets to a point where he's the best storyteller I've ever heard in my life. And I've known him very well, but he still like intrigues me, like how good of stories he tells. He'll just like have the room fucking dying. So I'm trying to fucking get a trick, and I'm running and throwing my board down to the point where I yelled at him because I almost collapsed in tears laughing because of just snippets of what he's saying. Not listening to the whole, just snippets of what he's saying. And I turned, shut the fuck up for a second, laughing, tears in my eyes, because he's that amazing. I've lived with Brandon, I've seen his highs and lows, whatever, like I love him to death. He called me, I remember him sitting on the bathroom floor. But I knew, I was like, yo, I mean, you're going to fucking girl. Like, how am I gonna be mad at you? You're my little brother, and how am I gonna be mad at you? Nah, I don't give a shit about that. Fuck. Like, I was bummed, yeah, but not in that way, where like no animosity whatsoever. That's gripped already. Oh, I like this one. Are you already going? I like this one. Green's my favorite color. Does it match this shit? I brought the hat to match. I rode 7.5 for mad long, and then for some reason, Gallant Ryan, he switched up to, I think I ride at 8.06 now. I rode this thing so many fucking times. Well, I'm sure I did because I like this one. Not even the graphic, I just like the colors. That's my favorite video part I've ever filmed. It's my favorite anything I've ever filmed. This is probably the funnest time of my life, too. I had gone on a trip with Jason Hernandez, filmer, TransWorld, to Miami with Stefan and Kyle Leeper. They were filming for Subtleties, right? And then like I was just their friend, so like I ended up, I don't even know how I ended up on that trip. But then like for some reason I was just feeling kind of like the Miami trip was like one of the funnest trips I've ever been on, ever. And then I found out that basically the same dudes, John Holland, was going to Barcelona. And I think they had pretty much wrapped up Subtleties. I think Stefan was on the trip, Shiloh was on the trip, Omar Salazar was on the trip. And I found out these people were going. You know, people have been like skating longer now, like older. But at that point, I think I was like 27. I'm like, I'm probably gonna be done soon. And I told my boss, like, let me go on one more trip, like one last trip. They wanted to work on a video. And I'm like, whatever I get, like if I go, like they're paying for the rooms, I'll pay for my food. If I can just get a ticket to Barcelona. I had never been there. And I'm like, whatever I get, like we'll put it to whatever video's coming out. So he agreed. And then I got there and I was just like, I'm like, yo, I'm on a trip with my friends and John Holland, which is, I mean, I have numerous filmers that are my fucking favorite, like Lita Pont, Jason Hernandez, John Holland. But I'm like, but John was just like, he's like a friend. It's like, he's not the filmer. He happens to be filming it. I just started stacking clips. Easy, just like, yo, I'm in Barcelona. I'm like, this might be my last skate trip ever. And then probably like halfway through the trip, do you want to have a part? I remember like in the hotel hallway, I'm like, I got nervous because I might have to tell my boss this because I really wanted it. There was a plan to make like a expedition video, but there was no definite like layout of when it's gonna come out. And then I'm just like, yo, I have to tell him that, yes, I do. And then it just sparked from there. I'm just like, oh, I want this. I'm pretty sure he sighed and was like, okay with it. I remember going to the premiere and he was like so psyched. Like, he's like, you made the good decision. I filmed all that shit in probably 6 months. Going through a breakup too, which I don't fucking know how I did. Cab, flip, fakie, nosebleeds.
With the 180 at the end? Was that planned the 180 yet, or just
Nope.
kind of like?
No, I realized it after. I probably went there like 4 or 5 times. I'm not even good at that trick, but I wanted to do it. I remember Jason Rothmeyer did it a long time ago in like a mini, he probably didn't even have to mani, but it just stuck in my head. That spot was just like not that far away from me, and like I had filmed so many things there, and I'm like, yo, that seems like ideal, and I'm not good at, you tried to tell me to do that fucking just on flat right now, like, but it just made sense to me. The way that place goes, if you lock into something, you almost don't even have to mani, it'll take you. Yeah. But I couldn't not turn, but I didn't think to turn out. And I almost varialed, like body varialed out, but I thought it was whack. The spot, like it kind of goes uphill. You're going faster than you think you want to go for a fucking curb mani. But you have to because you're gonna slow down and just like whatever. And then it clicked in my head one day when I almost varied. I'm like, why don't I just turn the fuck out of this? And it worked. But yeah, that one was a tough one. That was like one of my favorite clips I ever filmed. Just because I put it, not because of what it was just because I fucking put in work on that thing. It's a fucking mani.
Got a nice little tie-dyed blood shirt. Red Bulls are losing their effect. Some weird pain in my hip, I don't know where it came from. My battery's dead on my car, I gotta jump start it. Got a 6-hour drive ahead of us. Life's looking lovely right now.
Somebody's after me. I can't pretend to be something I know I'm not. I'm when they come for me. I'll just let them be, 'cause all that I need today is all I need. I just don't wanna be thinking thoughts that I think, dreaming my dreams I'm drifting within. I don't know where I'm going, but I know where I've been. Come on, look within. Someone will always be more than I'll ever be, so then I be myself. And when they come for me, I'll just let them be, 'cause all that I need today, I need today. I just don't wanna be thinking thoughts that I think, dreaming my dreams I'm drifting with. to see. Girl, you gotta lay your love on me. Lay your love on, lay your love on, lay your love on me.
It just doesn't stop. It's not like a video game where you beat it and you're over it. Like, I'd rather jump down something because you like want to get it easy, like so you don't break yourself. Like that shit's sometimes easier to me. Just because you're like, all right, I don't want to fall anymore. But that shit just, you have to think of so many different aspects of some shit. Like that shit is a mind fuck.